All right, hello there, Equestria Daily viewers. My name is Gandit, and welcome to another edition to Artist of the Week. Today we have here with you. Is it just Axle or is it Axle and Wheel?
Either's fine. Usually, like with my writing, I go with Axle and Wheel, but you can call me Axle if you want.
All right, well we'll do Axle for right now. So, tell me a little bit about the work that you've done so far.
Well, I write the crossover My Little Fortress Teamwork is Magic. I've just put chapter 9 up, so and chapter 10 is the final one, so that's coming to a close soon. There'll be a few other stories that I'm doing after that, but
All right, well no, that's really cool. So, how long have you been writing fiction?
um, for stories, not very long. I tend to have trouble with keeping my plots coherent. Teamwork is Magic is really one of the first stories that I've ever really had the plot in mind.
Did you learn to write from, or do you have like a mentor or something or anything like that?
Um, Not really. I kind of, I when I started getting all the attention, I started paying attention to people's their solutions and all that.
But you're you
And
are you're kind of or you're fairly new to this is kind of what you're saying.
yeah, kind of.
Okay. What's the creative process behind your writing? What kind of steps do you go through when you're trying to write something?
Well, part of it's kind of like, I take things that have happened to me in TF2, like chapter 4 is Rarity's, obsession over hats, and I know all of that all about that feeling,
Oh
you know.
yes.
But
I'm a
and so take I'll just take little slices of stuff that's happened to me in the game or how I would react to all this. Um, there's also small things that I'll come up with ideas, like um, the final segment in the newest chapter with Derpy with the mailbox. Well, that came about when they released the mailbox in TF2.
yeah.
I knew immediately, like, oh, I've got to have that in there.
Things just kind of clicked.
Yeah, lucky for me.
So,
And
how did ponies come about, or how did you kind of link TF2 and ponies together? How did that work?
um, it's kind of weird. I can't even really remember when I did. It fit naturally in my brain, and I scoured around, and no one was really doing anything with TF2 and ponies. So, be the first one, take the first step.
And is there any other games besides TF2 that you're thinking about maybe input or putting ponies into, or is it just kind of purely TF2 or focused?
Well, it's kind of weird because TF2's strangely fits with ponies. And like I thought it was, not to sound egotistical, I thought, well, maybe it's because I can write it, maybe I can make it work. But then I tried a Psychonauts crossover, and it didn't work at all. I couldn't get anything.
Hmm. So then, what or besides TF2, what other video games do you like? You mentioned Psychonauts on there.
I love Psychonauts. I've I'm kind of like all over the board. I play a ton of PC games, a lot of like FPSs. Uh, Left 4 Dead's been kind of on my list for. I've been playing that for a while.
Or kind of going along with that. How have video games and ponies kind of affected the way you think as a writer?
Well, a lot of the way, like, I know you have to introduce concepts in a way that you're not just throwing it at someone. Like, I can't just have someone do something and never explain why.
Yeah. The
So I think that's been playing a lot more into it with the later chapters.
okay. Um, let's see here. Uh, how's this kind of affected your life in general? Has anything changed since you started writing or writing Teamwork is Magic?
Definitely gave me a confidence boost.
Oh, good.
Uh, I was I remember the first like when the first chapter hit Equestria Daily. I was checking constantly, like, I want to see people's reactions, and I was expecting, a couple hundred people look at it. Crossovers don't tend to rank real high on people's reading lists.
Hmm.
And the first day it went up, I went home and I checked my DeviantArt stats and for page views, and it was just this blank line. I thought, well, is DeviantArt broken or something? Till it hit that day where it just spiked.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
like, oh my god.
I can kind of understand that feeling. It's real neat to get up on the daily for especially all the artists. That's why I do this project is to get
Yeah.
more exposure for people. So you mentioned you're finishing up the Teamwork's Magic. Is there any other future projects that you're excited to start working on?
I've got a couple other stories. I listen to a lot of music, so I got a couple ideas for fix out of different songs that I've listened to, and I want to try my hand and see if I can do a semi-ponified version of it.
All right, very neat. And what advice would you give new writers that are trying to get into the field?
Well, learn from my mistake, get a proofreader quickly, because those first chapters were god awful mistakes everywhere. Um, but also just you can't give up. Like you can't be discouraged by people.
Oh,
Everyone's not everyone's gonna like what you do. Like I've gotten my fair share of bad reviews. One was so bad I was uh, pretty upset about it. But you get over it and you move on.
yeah. Well, excellent. I think that, or well, I think these questions, your answers here will help a lot of people, Axel. So I want to thank you for your time, and thanks for coming on and doing this interview with me.
Not a problem.
And that wraps up another edition of Artist of the Week. Please remember to check out some of Axel's stuff in the description. And as always, if you or somebody you know would like to become Artist of the Week, just contact me at my email at gendidlezu@yahoo.com. Until next week, pony fans, see you later.